Awesome. Hey, thanks you two for being here. We're going to show off some functionality between some really simple functionality. I think that'll be good to show between Gemini, Google Drive, and finally NotebookLM. Are y'all ready to learn about some fruit?
Let's do it. This is exciting because I use all three of these tools, but not together so much. So I'm excited.
The example is really silly. I was inspired by the banana in Travis's background here. And I'll zoom in here. But I've just found, like, I was a pretty early convert to ChatGPT, but I've just found the utility of Gemini. The quality of the models have gotten really, really good. And the functionality to connect to Google Drive as a Google school is just really, really powerful and really, really useful. It's helping me get really organized when it comes to my own Google Drive. So I'm here in Gemini, which all staff and faculty at our college have access to, gemini.google.com. I'm going to ask about the fruit kiwi, and I just use fruit as an example here. And so I'm hoping, and Travis, you can help me with this too. I'm hoping maybe Gemini will let me kind of kick this out to Google Docs or Drive. So lots of information about kiwi here. Very exciting. I didn't see that that option to kick out to Google Drive. Is it in here somewhere, Travis?
Yeah, if you hit the share button right next to where you're at currently.
Share.
I wish
That's fine.
Right to the left of the three dots icon.
There it is. Cool.
There it
Share
is.
and export.
And then
Nice.
Export to Docs. Yep.
Sometimes there'll be a little button that pops up that kind of invites you to do it, but this is here now, which is really, really cool. I didn't even see that draft in Gmail. The ways this will connect to Gmail too is cool, I'm sure, in the future. So I'm exporting this silly kiwi recipe thing to Google Docs, and it invites me to open that doc. And so right now I have just a brand new Google Doc with all of that knowledge. And I could have spent time refining that prompt, learning more about kiwi, whatever I'm doing, right? But I've got a doc here. And I'm going to go over to a notebook. And so I already have a little notebook queued up over here. I called it, well, actually it titled it for me, I think, Fruits, Apples, Bananas, and Oranges. But I have new knowledge I want to add to this notebook that I've been working on. And so up in the top left here, real simple to add sources. You can get up to 50 right now in the free instance of NotebookLM, notebooklm.google.com. I really like this ability to add and engage with my Google Docs. Think about all the workplace files, all the instructional files, all my lectures, all my content PowerPoints. The ability to kind of grab these files is just really, really cool. So there's that Kiwi doc. There we go. And so if I've got a question about fruit now, and let's say, imagine that these are your work files and you've got 20 or 25 different files you're sharing with lots of different colleagues across the college, and you really need to find a policy or you're looking for something specific, the ability to kind of use Notebook to search your own knowledge from Google Drive is really, really powerful. So, hey, where was that banana file? Excellent. And so it links out in a little footnote to this file that's just full of the word banana, which I made 30 seconds before we hit record. So if I click that little footnote, it tells me where that file is. I can open banana, 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 and edit banana, banana, banana. Make sure that this is the file I want. Make sure that the information is quality information. And when I'm finally done, let's actually change this. It's not bananas anymore. Give me another fruit.
Coconut.
Coconut. Yeah. Oh, nice. Good. Nice choice. A little unconventional. I like it. Okay.
Maybe throw a curveball in there of just a vegetable, and we'll see if.
Potato. Oh, and we're going to call the file potato. There we go. And now I'm going to go back to my file. I'm going to sync. I'm going to sync that file back up. And so this represents the act of finding your files, getting organized, right, putting it into a notebook, and then verifying the quality of the information. It's that sort of digital hygiene thing I've been thinking so much about. How do we make sure that we've got good information with our own Google Drives? How do we make sure we don't have outdated files, right? I think NotebookLM is a pretty powerful tool and a collaborative one too, where you can kind of make sure that you have the most recent up-to-date information regarding processes, onboarding work, policies at the college, whatever you're sort of working on as it relates to your own unique position. I think this combination of using Gemini to kind of explore, brainstorm, learn, using Google Drive to store, remember, and then using Notebook to sort of validate and access and certify the quality of that information is really, really cool. So let's go back to the Notebook. This will be the last thing we do. What are we searching for? Coconuts. Okay, I am looking for info about coconuts, but no files are named coconut. Help. Let's see what it does. There we go. Took me to the potato file, where, of course, the coconut information is. I think you can do search and things like that in Google Drive. There's other ways to kind of do this kind of thing, but this connection and the ways in which the memory of these tools just keeps getting bigger and bigger means we can really use these tools to organize and make sure that we've got good information and get rid of old information too and update it really, really quickly. That workflow of opening that doc and syncing it and making those edits just works really well for me. And I'm excited to keep exploring the Google suite of products thanks to Gemini.
Is there a way, I guess there's not, but I'll ask it anyway. Is there a way to connect your Google Drive or a whole folder to this?
That's a good question. Let's take a look. In the meantime, I'm going to generate that audio overview to see what kind of podcast I get from the coconut banana. Let's take a look. So we can add, and I think I said PowerPoint earlier, and I don't think that's actually accurate. You can pull in slides. Cool. So docs, copy text, MP3, JPEG, PDF, TXT, Markdown, but currently no folders. But I can obviously imagine that changing very, very soon here, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I can pull in 50 files into the free instance and 500 in the paid instance, or even the student accounts that students have free access to, then definitely I can imagine that that day is coming really, really soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And two items there of note are PDF is a supported file type. So literally anything on your computer you can save as a PDF or print as a PDF, and you'd be able to access it that way. Also, just the ability to copy and paste text is also just a real simple way to dip your toe in the water.
Just pull it right in. Yeah. Really powerful. If you're in that Google ecosystem, it's just a kind of a neat way to kind of re-engage with your stuff and kind of rediscover what's in that Google Drive. I've been working on a project where files came over from the N drive, and I'm looking through files from like 2015 that have passed hands like 3 or 4 times over the last like 10 years, and no one knows what's in that stuff. But it's tools like this that are going to allow us to kind of wrestle with and distill all that knowledge that just kind of been left stranded, that no one just knew where to look. You can kind of pull it into these tools. You can kind of breathe new life in and kind of remember sort of the context and the history and the legacy of some of our programs, files, processes. We can kind of do that with these new tools, which is cool. That's all I had, folks.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you had went through a process of hitting like a resync when you renamed the file to potato and stuff. So is everything just at a point in time of when you add it as a source and it keeps it that way?
It seems to be, and I would assume that will change too, but it does seem like I do need to sync every single time, that it is that snapshot in time. And that probably is what allows it to, Google's trying to save a lot of money and memory when it's doing that. But it's been pretty easy to kind of remember to hit that button. And if I'm doing the work of opening and editing it, it's very natural to see that sync button. It kind of calls out and kind of has been a nice reminder.
Excellent. Thanks, Jordan.
This is great.
Hey, you're welcome.